We love cake so much we decided to make it a full-time business. For me, Sammie,
and me, Bronya.
Join us on our journey of discovery as we meet fellow cake professionals, artisan cake makers and home bakers who will give tips and advice on the Business of Cake Making podcast, glitter included.
Follow us on Instagram and listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Sign up to our newsletter and visit the blog at daisycakecompany.co.uk. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
So this week we are podcasting live from Cake International
In Birmingham.
When I say live, we're not there Monday morning.
No, we're
here on a Sunday after morning.
Pre-recorded live.
Yes. So this is going to be a really short episode because we are sat having a cup of tea and coffee, but we're just going to chat about our run-up to Cake International.
Yes, and so previously I've spoken about how organised I was going to be this year, and that I'd written a schedule, and that I'd set up a group like Crafting Saturdays, and
what happened?
And yes, that's right. I covered my cake.
You did cover your cake
Just before I left.
You covered your cake. Just go with it. You covered your cake.
Okay, and then
you had the design.
No, I changed it the night before.
Okay.
And so I arrived with all of my equipment, all in the back of my car, unloaded in a beautiful little cottage that we stayed in, and I worked till 4:30 in the morning, and I just managed to scrape in with a merit.
You got a merit? No, you didn't just scrape in. You achieved a merit.
I did. I was very proud of myself because last year I forgot to enter. Admittedly, I have been really busy.
Okay, Sammie, should we put this in context? Sammie had a big fire at her house.
Yeah.
Last
Luckily,
week.
nobody was hurt. It's just a shed, but it was big enough to be.
Yeah, it was a big fire. You had firemen out.
Yeah. Let's say there's a new shed and an 8x10 shed and about £5,000 worth of fishing stuff, golf stuff.
Yeah, so that's happened in the last couple of weeks. I think you've got a reprieve this year.
Yeah. So
what had you planned before you got here?
Well, I had planned my Marie Antoinette cake. I was going to do 2 little figures on the top, and I was going to have pinks and blues, and lots of padding and ruffling. So my cake was just cream.
But it's 5-6 tiers?
5 or 6 tiers. It did have spacer in it, but I decided on the morning to take it out.
Okay.
So I got here with it on, and then I went, no, I don't like it, so I took it off.
Right, okay.
And it's got Doris the Dove on the top.
Doris the Dove. And what's really funny is where they've placed it on the table, the floor is really uneven, and it's got... it's like a manhole cover underneath, isn't it?
So, yeah.
And every time people walk past it, Doris the Dove
moves,
shakes a bit.
Yeah, it's like she's got animatronics.
What did they say on your feedback form?
That it was an amazing piece.
Yeah, the first thing. Yeah, it was a really positive. It was positive.
It was positive. They and they put an amazing piece! Exclamation.
Yeah.
The dove was brilliant.
Yeah.
My tears were a bit wonky, so I'd obviously just gone and stuck them on and hammered my bamboo skewer for it so that it wouldn't fall over in the car. That my icing needed to be... It was neat, but it was just a bit wonky.
Right.
And that my ruffles needed to be more ruffly.
Yeah, well, they said something very specific about...
Yeah.
So what was it that they said?
I can't remember.
It was something like... Your ruffles needed more life or something like that?
Something like that. Where is it? Oh, I haven't got the piece of paper. It's in the back of my car.
But yeah, your ruffles weren't ruffly enough.
No.
Yeah.
So, but it was well executed.
And what have you learnt?
Well, the same as what I say every year. To be prepared. So if I could achieve a merit and I did it the night before...
Exactly.
But how much better could I be next year?
Think what you could get if you did. Now, so
I made 6 roses. There were roses on it as well.
The roses were beautiful.
So I made 6 roses the night before.
You made those roses the night before?
Yeah. I did make the little balls at home, so it kind of like had wafer paper and balls and tiles.
There was lots of mediums and textures.
It was kind of me. It was kind of messy.
Maximalist, minimalist.
Yeah. So, and I've seen lots of people taking photos of it.
There's been a lot of people taking pictures.
Maybe that's because Doris wobbles as they go by. But
so another friend of ours, Suzanne, she's entered for 4 years now, hasn't she?
Yes.
And every year she's a little bit like you, in that she rocks up at her B&B with a completely unfinished piece, and doesn't.
Yeah,
it's always really disappointed.
She's had a not to scale. 1 year she didn't get a mark.
Yeah, and then last year she just went, I'm not entering it, didn't she?
Yeah, she got here and she gave up halfway through the night and said, I can't do this.
But we chatted to her yesterday because she's entered this year, and she put aside time. Didn't she have like a couple of workshops with Jenny, who was the best in show last year?
Yeah, she did.
And then this year she got a bronze.
So well done.
Yeah.
Well done to you.
And the piece, I mean, she entered, was it the
wild card scary category?
And I have to say, it turned my stomach. There was a piece of liver on it.
Yeah, it's the liver that gets me every time, and the eyelashes. There was like skin.
There was, the face had been peeled off.
That fabric, where you put the gelatin on it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
it
grim.
Looked really realistic.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
But she organised herself and she got it done. She got a bronze.
Yeah.
Go Sue.
So she had a little table covered and put a pie dish on top of it. But before the pie dish went on it, she had a customer come and collect a cake, and the customer sat on it.
No, I didn't know that. What, with all the fondant on it?
I'm not sure if it had the fondant on it. So he thought it was a stool to sit on. And she's like, no.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so well done, Sue.
Yeah.
Well done. After 4 years, you got there, my love. You got there. Right, so generally, how do we think our preparation's gone? I'm gonna put my hands up. I turned up yesterday morning and I'd done no prep for this whatsoever. And so I didn't know who we were going to interview. I didn't know what we were going to look at. I knew nothing. And I think within the first hour, I was walking around like a headless chicken.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we sat down and had a cup of tea, didn't we?
Yeah. And that made it all better.
Tea makes
we
better.
made a list.
Yeah.
Because I knew who I wanted to speak to.
Yeah.
So we've spoken to all of the people we want to speak to, though I have some to speak to today.
Yes. Yeah, we've got a couple that we haven't spoken to yet.
Would you like to know who we're going to be speaking to later?
So who are we targeting?
Yellow Bee Sugar Art. She makes the little tiny models. We've spoken to Immaculate Confection.
Yes.
We've done Sugar Screams, Does Stranger Things. So it's at 2 p.m. It's the prize giving.
And I would like to go and see Paul Bradford and the Esper Lane bake demo on the baking stage as well. That's what I would like to go and see today.
And so there's been a lovely model of Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, we haven't spoken to her yet, have we?
And that's Jane Lashbrook.
Right,
we're going to find her today. But everybody else we've spoken to on my list. We even managed extras, which were nice surprises.
Yeah. I think also what's quite interesting is I don't think either of us, although we chat really well on podcasts, neither of us are particularly upfront, and we don't walk up to people.
No.
And we've kind of had to grow a pair and do that and say hi. We're us.
Yeah. And Veronica, my lovely friend from Cyprus that I met earlier in the year.
And so Sally from Devon Made Cakes.
Yes.
She came, and I know that if it had been the other way around, I wouldn't have had the balls to come up to us. So I think I have so much respect that people have the bollocks to talk to us. And I think it's something that I know we're doing a podcast, but I think going through any business, you've got to really get over yourself a little bit.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Well, I think that we're always talking about the fact that we're doing things now that we would never have done before.
Yeah.
So, yes, definitely.
Yeah, we do need to get over ourselves. So, we're not going to do a product of the week because although we've bought lots of lovely products, should we mention the products we've bought? But we haven't tried them.
Yes.
So, I have bought from Fractal Colours. So, we talked to someone from Fractal Colours yesterday, and I bought one of their new flavours. Let me get it out of my bag. So, apparently, it's like a powder flavour. Oh, I can't find it. So
Lots of rustling going on here.
So I'm quite hopeful for this. So it might be a product of the week in the future. So I'm quite hopeful for this. It's a fractal. It's a Fun-tasty food flavour. Fun-tasty.
Tasty. Yeah,
food flavour. They had lots of different flavours. They had banana, walnut, hazelnut. I bought strawberry. They had coffee as well. So I'm going to try this because I find that strawberry sometimes can be a really artificial flavour, and it's quite difficult to get a natural flavour into a cake.
Definitely.
So I've bought that. It was £6 for the tub, and that is fractal. So it's fractal colours, but obviously they've made a flavour.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give that a go.
Yummy,
I've also
yummy,
bought some
yummy.
colour meal, and I've bought the new Squire's whitening.
I've used. Oh no, mine was a different brand, so I'm not going to talk about that.
So I bought the Squire's.
I think I did it as a previous.
So the Squire's Kitchen icing
Product
whitener.
of the week.
I've bought that, and I'm going to give that a go as well.
Yeah.
Because I've just come to the end of my colour meal white, so I'm going to give the Squire's one a go. What have you bought?
Well, I bought a mould from Karen Davies, who we met at the Cake and Bake Show.
Yeah.
And it's a crochet one, because I've got a crochet cake on Tuesday.
Oh!
So I have got mats, but they're like cheap ones I bought years ago.
Yeah. You
of
can't beat
which-
a good mat, actually.
And I thought I'd do quite a few cakes, and this is something, because again we buy products and we don't use them.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
this is a product I will use.
Yeah.
And it's got more definition on it. So
And Karen's mats are good,
yeah,
aren't they? They are good. Yeah.
So I bought that, and I've also just visited Natalie.
Yeah, it was just gone to see Natalie Porter.
Yes.
Yes.
And I bought.
You bought lots of stuff.
I bought the Immaculate Confections.
What I like about this is that she's got book 1, and then you've bought book 1.5.
Natalie's Little Book of Colour, which I did look at when I went to do a course with Tasteful Cakes.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I really want it.
Yeah.
So I've got it today.
I think colour theory is really interesting. I did a YouTube. It's like a YouTube tutorial the other day, and it was about colour theory, and it's about opposite colours of your colour wheel and how they cancel each other out.
yeah.
And it's really, really... And Natalie was quite interesting because she was saying that most people come to baking as bakers and not as artists,
Yes.
and we don't have that knowledge.
No, that's right. And we haven't used it since primary school.
Yeah.
And is there a product that you would like to buy, but obviously it's not in your budget, or you...
Right, I would like to give it a go, and that's the frost form.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to give it a go. I don't know whether... So I think a 9-inch is £80,
Yeah.
so it's quite expensive. But I would like to give it a go to see if it really does cut down the faff.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I do enough cakes to warrant it. We
Yeah.
were talking to Sam from Sugarcraft Junkies earlier, and she said that she would quite like to buy them, but she does a lot of wedding cakes and a lot of
she
very
does.
precise wedding
Yeah.
cakes. So I would like to give it a go to see if it is worth the cost
Yeah.
of it.
So I've got 2 products.
Okay.
So Cassie Brown airbrush.
Oh, that posh
They're
one.
like- yeah, 600 quid.
I know.
No, so no, that I'm not getting that one. But
imagine how
also,
good it is.
Yeah, Natalie Porter's peony cutters. 'Cause
Yes.
it's like does that as a whole petal as opposed to individual leaves.
We used to have rose cutters like that.
Yeah,
Can you remember
I've got some of them in my
Yeah.
drawer. And I don't get on with them that well. I like to do the individual
Right.
leaves, but occasionally, if I want to do a really quick one, I'll use one.
I
of
say,
those.
is that because it's a rose and not a peony? Because they've got a slight different technique when you're
Maybe,
making them,
yeah,
haven't they?
maybe, yeah.
Because peonies, you like layer them
Yeah.
differently, so maybe a peony
Yeah.
might be easier as a...
Yeah, so if I've got any pennies left after I've bought the things on my list, I might go back and buy it. It's
Yeah.
only £8.
Yeah. Right, so, sorry it's a quick one today, but yeah, we're in Birmingham and we don't have the time.
No.
Quite frankly. We've
No,
got
because we're just
people
about
to
to race
see.
off and see people gather. Good.
People to see, people to talk to,
Yeah.
things to do. We'll be back next week with our full Cake International episode, which has got lots of interviews with various people, and then we'll be back as normal after that.
Yeah, and we've been taking lots of videos as well, which we'll post online.
Sammie is going to be doing social media.
Oh, no. Yes, I am. You're quite right.
So we'll see you next week.
Bye 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 bye.